Once upon a time, deep within a dense forest, there lived a poor woodcutter with his wife and 3 daughters. Every day, the woodcutter would go into the forest to chop wood and sell it in the village to earn a living. One evening, as the sky glowed with shades of gold and soft pink, he turned to his wife and said, "Tomorrow, ask our eldest daughter to bring me lunch in the forest. I'll be working far and will return late." The next day, the eldest daughter packed a small basket with bread, cheese, and a bowl of stew. She set out into the woods. But the forest was thick, and the rustling of leaves blended with the wind, sounding like whispers. As the sun began to set, she lost her way. Darkness spread like a heavy blanket, and fear started to grip her heart. Just as panic began to overtake her, she spotted a faint light shimmering through the trees. She walked toward it and found a lonely old cabin. Its wooden windows were weathered and broken, but faint smoke rose gently from the chimney. She hesitated, then knocked on the door. It creaked open slowly, revealing an old man bent with age, with a long white beard and sharp, alert eyes. Behind him stood a chicken, a rooster, and a spotted cow. Their eyes gleamed in the dim candlelight. The girl politely said, "Good evening, sir. I'm lost. May I stay here for the night?" The old man turned to his animals and asked, "Shall we let her in?" The animals nodded. "You may stay," the old man said, "but first you must prepare dinner." The eldest daughter made a delicious meal and placed a steaming plate in front of the old man. But when she sat down to eat, she ignored the hungry stares of the animals watching her. That night, when she asked for a bed, the old man pointed to the stairs. "You may sleep upstairs." Gratefully, she climbed up, but as soon as she lay down, a sharp creaking sound echoed beneath her. A trapdoor opened suddenly, and with a scream, she vanished into darkness. The next morning, when the girl didn't return, her mother sent the second daughter with lunch. She too got lost, reached the same cabin, asked for shelter, and prepared food, but ignored the hungry animals. That night, when she lay in bed, the floor shifted again and she too disappeared into the darkness below. On the third day, the youngest daughter, a kind-hearted and gentle soul, set out with her father's meal. The trees whispered in the wind, their shadows long and mysterious. But she walked bravely forward. As evening fell, she too saw the lonely cabin. The old man answered her knock, and she greeted him warmly. "Good evening, kind sir," she said. "I've lost my way. May I stay here for the night?" The old man turned to his animals again. "Shall we let her in?" The animals nodded. "You may stay," he said, "but you must first prepare dinner." The youngest daughter went straight to work. She chopped fresh herbs, stirred the pot, and baked bread until the house filled with rich aromas. Once the meal was ready, she placed a plate before the old man. But before sitting, she noticed the hungry eyes of the chicken, the rooster, and the cow. "You must be hungry too," she said kindly. She scattered grains for the birds and laid fresh grass before the cow. The cow affectionately rubbed her head against the girl's arm in thanks. When she asked for a place to sleep, the old man smiled and pointed to the stairs. She climbed up, lay in bed, her heart full of peace and love. But around midnight, the house suddenly shook. It felt as if the walls were crumbling, the ground trembling, and some ancient power had taken hold of the place. Her eyes widened with shock, but as quickly as the storm came, it faded away. Silence returned, and she soon drifted into a peaceful sleep. When she woke the next morning, she gasped. The old, creaky cottage had vanished. In its place stood a magnificent palace. Golden chandeliers shimmered above her. The marble floors gleamed, and colorful stained glass windows filled the room with light. As she blinked in wonder, a handsome young man stood before her. He was no longer the weak, white-bearded old man she had seen the night before. His deep eyes sparkled with gratitude and warmth, and he wore royal robes. "You have broken the curse," he said. His voice was filled with emotion. "A wicked fairy had cast a spell on me, trapping me in the form of an old man in a lonely cottage. I could not be freed until a kind-hearted soul showed mercy not only to people but to animals too. Your compassion and kindness have broken the spell." He clapped his hands, and two courtiers entered the room, smiling with joy. These, he said, were the chicken and rooster. They were now a man and woman, once cursed, now free. The woman's golden hair shone, and her gown sparkled like sunlight. The man wore a feathered hat and bowed respectfully. Then the prince called his minister, a kind-faced man who had once been the cow. "You gave her food when no one else would," he said. "That act of kindness set us all free." The girl, overcome with awe, placed her hand on her heart. The magical air had lifted. The prince stepped closer. His gaze was gentle but full of strength. "You saved us," he said softly. "And now I ask you, will you stay by my side forever?" Messengers on swift horses were sent across the kingdom to bring her family. When her parents arrived, they were stunned. Their daughter, once in worn clothes, now stood beside the prince in royal silk and jewels. The prince bowed before them. "Your daughter has rescued me from a lifetime of sorrow," he said with deep sincerity. "With your blessing, I wish to ask for her hand in marriage." Tears of joy glistened in the eyes of the woodcutter and his wife as they embraced their daughter and gave their heartfelt approval. But justice had one final act. The prince turned to his royal guards and said with firmness, "Let the selfish sisters be taught the lesson they never learned." And so the two elder sisters were sent to a deep forest to work in a coal mine, a place of hardship. They were to remain there until their hearts softened, not just toward people, but toward all living beings. Only then would they be allowed to return. As for the youngest daughter, she was adorned in royal silks, crowned as the princess of the palace, and married the prince in a grand celebration that lasted for many days.